Welcome back, everyone, now to the weekly Armchair Kickoff podcast. Today we're on our United show, Keane on United. And lads, this evening, it's another fantastic, European night for Manchester United fans. And so today we had a massive game, the Champions League against RB Leipzig. And it was a game where, look, I'll be honest, when this game was coming around, especially after the PSG result, I thought this would have been a much tougher fixture than the PSG game. So I suppose, the first thing we'll talk about today is Ollie's team selection. So a selection that many Manchester United fans were clamouring for was this 4-4-2 diamond formation. So with this 4-4-2 diamond formation, Ollie went with a midfield of Matic and Van der Beek, Paul Pogba and Fred. So there was a lot of us Manchester United fans all calling for Donny Van der Beek to start today. So I suppose from the outset, we were happy with the starting lineup. I know some of us were calling for Axel Tuanzebe to come in, but look, we won't complain too much about that because obviously, look, it's a fantastic result. I suppose reflecting on tonight's game in itself, like the first half, I thought we got the first goal, and we were well in control of the game. Now, people will say that obviously Leipzig had a lot of possession in the first half, which they did. But I thought Manchester United, we dealt very well with it, though we defended very well. Harry Maguire, as much as I've slated him the last couple of weeks, Harry Maguire did defend quite well tonight. I thought he was quite astute there defensively. Now, where him and Luke Shaw, their distribution in the first half in terms of releasing the ball, it wasn't great. But, they did do a good job defensively. Again, I think low-key, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, again, tonight was very solid in right full. And when called upon, he did mop up at the back. Again, one thing I will say is Victor Lindelof as well. He actually low key again. He was someone who did put out a good performance today. And so that was a very good performance by Lindelof. And we've a comment in here from Callum. So Callum has said thoughts on McTominay. Felt he was very good, and when he came on, albeit will go under the radar. Yeah, look, one thing I will say is when Scott McTominay was coming on, I'll hold my hands up right now live. I was very pessimistic when he came on. I thought Nemanja Matic was doing a decent job in midfield. He had a good game. But to be fair, Scott McTominay, when he came on, did do a good job. He broke up play. For once he did release the ball very well. So I suppose with competition with places in midfield, it's good to see. Players like McTominay, players like Fred, which I'll come on to in a minute, another unsung hero today. But yeah, I would say, that McTominay did play well. Callum has just come in with a comment. Your reaction when Bruno Fernandes didn't take the penalty. To be honest, Callum, I was screaming at my television for Rashford to take that penalty because obviously he was on 2 goals at the time. And I was absolutely roaring at the telly saying, Rashford, take it. But one thing I'll say about Marcus Rashford, he not only, provides for kids with the free school meals, but he provides Martial with goals as well. So that was a very good, thoughtful gesture by Rashford yet again. In terms of our midfield tonight, we went with the 4-4-2 diamond, and I thought Matic done very well in that sitting role. He marshalled the defence really well. He sat in there and he did provide the protective cover for the back four. I thought Fred, lads, today, I know we won 5-0 and it was a fantastic performance, and attacking wise, we've done magnificent today. But lads, I have to say, Fred today was one of the players who really stood out for me. Broke up play very quickly. He was very aggressive. So he did release the ball very quickly. He's someone who I thought complemented the other kind of attacking midfielders like a Van der Beek and a Pogba. I thought Fred done very well in that role today. So big kudos to him. He done quite well in that role. Then just on to Paul Pogba. Paul Pogba today played in his, I suppose, preferred position of a left side of a midfield kind of 3/4, and again he got well very quick. He got forward very well, and you've seen Pogba today when he's in an advanced position, he can do damage, and you've seen that today with his assist for Paul Pogba. Callum has just left a comment here, which I know we will talk about this in our preview on Friday for the Arsenal game. But Callum has commented, William must be worried for the weekend. Who are Arsenal playing tonight in the Champions League? To be honest, Callum, I don't know. I don't know who Arsenal were playing tonight, but I think they're playing tomorrow in the Emmerdale Cup. I'm not entirely sure, but William will have to get back to you on that one. Yeah, like I would say it's Paul Pogba. Like when he played in that advanced role, he done very well. And I think this is something we might see more of Paul Pogba now in the coming weeks. That if Ollie plays his formation, you know, you can see Paul Pogba playing that advanced role and kind of do well in that role. Scott Murphy has said they prefer Thursdays, absolutely Thirsty Thursday and all that. Though Arsenal fans must love that. But again, yeah, a very good performance by Paul Pogba. I've been one of his biggest critics in the last couple of weeks. Hold my hands up again, a player who I've been critical of in the last couple of weeks. Me and Shane Dowley, very good friend of mine. We haven't really seen eye to eye in the last couple of weeks with regards to Paul Pogba and Bruno Fernandes. But look, again, good performance by Paul Pogba tonight. To a shout out to him. So obviously, like Donny van de Beek, another player. You know, we've all been calling for Donny to start. We've all been calling for him to get, you know, a decent amount of games for United and game time. And he is one player who did stand out for me today. Very quick in the ball. His link-up play was very good. The 1-2s were very good, and like he was always in the right place to pick up the ball. And I think Solskjaer has a very good problem to have in terms of the midfield options he has in terms of like Van de Beek, Bruno, Pogba. So in them kind of advanced midfield roles, we have a very good problem. And I think with this 4-4-2 diamond, we have a formation now where we can play these attacking players, where you can have like a defensive solidity of a Matic and a Fred in there, but then you have two options to play, a Bruno and a Pogba. I know they talked about this on Monday Night Football the other night, where you can have a formation to play these midfielders. And I think this formation kind of showed that now tonight. And again, it provides good options for playing two up front as well. So long may that continue. Callum has commented, would you stick with the diamond, Keane? Scott, what do you think also? For me, I would stick with the diamond, because what I was just alluding to there, I think for the midfield options, it provides our attacking players, you know, with good options. And again, like we don't get overrun in midfield because we have plenty of midfielders there. Now, with people that talk about it kind of exposes the fullbacks, but when you have a good fullback there in Aaron Wan-Bissaka, who is very defensively astute, you can afford to play this formation. In terms of Luke Shaw, again, look, he's someone who may get exposed in this formation, but Alex Telles, when he gets back from injury, will definitely thrive in this formation. Scott has just commented, stayed organised, diamond works well for us, seeing Bruno and Rashford come off the bench. Yeah, I will come to that in a moment. In terms of Mason Greenwood, lads, another player who has been under a lot of scrutiny recently. He got on the score sheet tonight. I thought he was very bright tonight. He worked hard, which is something people criticise him as well for his work rate. So to see Mason Greenwood tonight as well, work hard and, you know, get on the score sheet. Big ups to Mason Greenwood again. That's a middle finger to all the English media. I've just been sent a message there. Saying Alex Telles has corona and that's why he didn't play. So maybe I was wrong about him being injured, but look, I hope he gets well soon. And hopefully we'll see him back on the pitch very soon. So look, with regards to Greenwood, again, played very well, worked very hard, done very well with his positioning today. That was very good performance by Greenwood. Anthony Martial today, again, really happy for him today as well, because he was a player in the Champions League who, you know, has a very kind of, I suppose, suspect goal scoring record in the Champions League. And so people are getting onto him in the last couple of weeks that his goal scoring in Europe isn't good enough. But happy for him tonight, albeit it was a penalty. Some people said it was a bad penalty, but look, again, Joe, you score goals, who's going to complain? So very good performance from Martial, another player who was criticised for kind of not working hard, but again, another player who did shine in the team today. On to the substitutions. So Scott McTominay, really good performance from him again, really good workmanlike performance. So put a shift in, broke up play, look, I complained when Matic came off. I thought Matic was doing well, but look, big up to Scott McTominay today, and very, very, very good performance by Scott McTominay today. Really happy with that. With Bruno Fernandes, lads, that pass for Marcus Rashford from Bruno Fernandes was absolutely disgusting, absolute filth. Like, again, people say I have a Bruno Fernandes agenda, and look, I won't call it an agenda, but like he's a quality he's a quality footballer. Like, he's a really good player, and he showed tonight when he came on today that that he does have so much to offer this team, and you've seen since before the lockdown happened, since the first lockdown happened, he's been our best player, and I'll debate with anyone who says he hasn't been our best player since he's joined the club. And last but not least, lads, in terms of starting 11, Sir Marcus Rashford, the man just tore Daya Upamecano a new arsehole. He really did. Like, you look at Upamecano before Rashford came on. He actually done quite well. He was coming out at the back with the ball very well. He was very commanding. He was winning every first and second ball. And to see like Rashford come on and tear Upamecano apart like that in such a short space of time, being on the pitch, is absolutely unbelievable. And not only for him to have this kind of performance on the pitch, but then you have this, like, you see what he's doing outside of the pitch, and it's so great to see. It's so great to see. So, like, I'm delighted for him. And then to see him give Martial that penalty, even though he was on a hat-trick, shows that he's so selfless. Like, do you know what I mean? He's all about the team. He's not about himself. Like, and you see, look, it goes without saying what he's doing off the pitch, though it speaks volumes for him as a player. My man of the match tonight. So, like, look, there were so many kind of standout performers for me tonight. Like, a lot of very good players in the defense department, in the midfield, and the attack. My original, before Marcus Rashford came on, I thought Fred was actually our best player on the pitch, because he was just breaking up everything. Like, he was so integral in terms of breaking up play, and he was very important. He was very important there to say. Donny van de Beek would have been a close second and third as well. Pogba played very well, but for me, there's no other man to get man the match day other than Marcus Rashford. To get a hat-trick against last season's Champions League semi-finalists and a very good team in Leipzig, who are top of Bundesliga at the moment, speaks volumes about his quality. So Marcus Rashford gets the man of the match for me in that respect. David De Gea, I haven't even mentioned him on the show, though he's someone who, when called upon, he made one or two saves. Didn't have much of note really to do today, which is, again, a good thing in some sense. It shows that we're doing what, not only we doing well defensively, but we're doing well up in the other end as well, which is very, very good to see. Jack O'Reilly has commented, Shane Dowley is my man of the match. I'd say, is that Shane Dowley or Paul Pogba, Jack? We'll have to get to the bottom of that one. In terms of, I'm going to go with player ratings. For today's game, I was going to kind of run through kind of starting 11 and the subs with regards to that. Player ratings, David De Gea, I'm just going to give him a 6. Didn't have much to do. Not really much to talk about De Gea. He when he came on, when he was called upon, done quite well. So I can't really, I suppose, talk really too much about David De Gea, but I give him a 6 out of 10 because that's just what you give for like an average performance, I suppose. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, I'm going to give an 8. Again, solid performance by Wan-Bissaka. They didn't get too much joy down his wing. They had to attack Luke Shaw's wing anytime they attacked. So I'll give Aaron Wan-Bissaka an 8. Victor Lindelof, I'm going to give him a 7. Though he's very solid today. Again, he kind of flew under the radar today because we're so good in attack. Though I thought he's very solid at the back today. So again, I give Lindelof a 7. Harry Maguire, again, I'm going to give him a 7 too. So where he did lack in kind of, I suppose, distribution in the first half, and he did do well. So I give Harry Maguire a 7. Luke Shaw, I'm going to give him a 6.5. Again, look, he didn't do anything too much of note at the moment. So like his decision making wasn't the best, but again, we didn't concede a goal. So he didn't concede a goal. So look, I'll give him a 6.5 just on that basis, because the only thing he whipped in 1 or 2 good crosses. And he knows Tellez was probably on his back, so I'll give him a 6.5. And the Nemanja Matic, I'm going to give him 7.5. Again, very solid midfield. Even going forward today, he was actually reasonably okay. So again, I give him the Nemanja Matic a 7 out of 10. You know, he done quite well today. Right-sided centre midfielder Fred, I'm going to give him an 8. Fantastic engine in the midfield. You know, got himself about, got tackles in. So he linked up well, you know, with Van de Beek and Martial. So Fred, I will give an 8. Paul Pogba, I'll give him an 8.5. Again, you've seen when Paul Pogba has been in an advanced position, he can play to the best of his ability without kind of defensive responsibility, and we've seen that today. So long may that continue from Paul Pogba. You know, absolutely fantastic performance from Pogba, and hopefully we see that again against the Gunners on the weekend. Donny van de Beek, I'm going to give him also an 8.5. Absolutely fantastic again in midfield today. He did show Bruno today, and that he has a bit of competition there, which is great to see. With competition for places in midfield, so I'm going to give him an 8.5. Done very well today. Mason Greenwood, I'm going to give a 7.5. Done great defensive work today when he tracked back when we didn't have the ball. He took his finish very well, even though people will say it was offside, but clearly, look, VAR didn't judge it as offside, so it's not offside. Very good finish. So he showed ice cold in his veins. You know, he did show ice cold in his veins today. So again, I go with the 7.5 for Mason Greenwood. Anthony Martial, I'm going to give an 8. Though he worked very hard today. Even after Greenwood came on, he did do quite well. He's taken on players, he's beaten players, he's been like the Martial we all know and love, the confident player who beats players. And playing on the left side or front too, he can always drift out, and that's something I like seeing today when he was drifting out to the wing and taking on the right back and then coming inside. Like, I really did like Martial's gameplay today. So again, fantastic performance from Tony. Scott McTominay, I give him a 7. Again, he came on today. He done very well. Broke up play, drew a few fouls, which he always does. So he's some man for making a meal out of a challenge. But again, I'm guilty for, I suppose, being a big supporter of Scott McTominay because of his passion for the club. But so I call it like how I see it today. He did play very well. Will fly under the radar, obviously, because of our attacking performance. But so again, 7 for Scott McTominay, done very well. Bruno Fernandes, I'm going to give him an 8.5. Done very well. That assist was absolutely sick. It was disgusting. Like, there's no other word to describe that assist for Rashford tonight. Perfectly timed run by Marcus as well. So yeah, very good performance by Bruno, the man who I think should be captain of the club. But look, that's another story for another night. And again, I suppose I left the best for last. The man of the match who I alluded to there earlier. Sir Marcus Rashford, Dr. Marcus Rashford, whatever you want to call him. I'm going to give him a 10 out of 10, lads. I'm going to give him a 10 out of 10. His runs were perfect. He scored a hat-trick. He was so selfless to give Martial, as Dean Fury alluded in the comments, like he gave Martial the penalty tonight. And man of the match performance came on and was just so direct, so good. Like, he's a fantastic player. And he's like, he shows such a great mentality at just 22 years of age, lads. He's such a good footballer, and like, the sky's the limit now for Rashford. It really is. Like, I know me, again, on this channel, you can go back and watch videos. I have been overly critical of Rashford, but one thing I did say on this channel a couple of weeks ago is that he needs to go back to his bread and butter in terms of just taking on players, being direct, not trying to play kind of the playmaker role, because we've many playmakers like a Bruno, like a Pogba, Rashford needs to kind of stick to his game. And you've seen on the last kind of couple of weeks, PSG, Chelsea, that he's going back to being that player, being direct, making them runs, taking on players, not trying to come inside and be the playmaker. So again, 10 out of 10 for Rashford. Absolutely fantastic. Such a good footballer. And again, it speaks volumes that he's banging them in against PSG, he's banging them in against Leipzig, and and he's also, he's banging down 10 Downing Street as well. Do you know what I mean? He's absolutely kicking them up the hole as well. So look, fantastic by Rashford. This is a Man United show obviously today, and this is like a Man United kind of podcast today. I'm just going to put up a comment here on the screen. So Michael Clarkson, lads, who's a Liverpool fan, said United are still useless, lads. Good vibes. Jeez, Michael, it's good to see you're kind of back from the Virgil van Dijk funeral, boy. Jesus Christ. Good to see you, though, Mike. Good to see you, bud. But geez, Liverpool, what's going to happen with them? Like, Van Dijk injured, Fabinho injured, Henderson had a knock last night. Like, Michael, I know Liverpool are looking for defenders. So, look, Phil Jones and Marcus Rojo are kind of surplus to requirements at United. So, if you're looking for a defender, Michael, look, just give Ed Woodward their ring, and Jones and Rojo are available. You're kind of lacking centre backs at the moment. So, look, I wouldn't be. I know you're slagging off United, but at the end of the day, we've beaten last season's Champions League finalists and last season's Champions League semi-finalists, a stage where Liverpool didn't get to the Champions League last season. And so, look, again, that's grand. You know what I mean? Lads, so look, I'm going to wrap it up there for tonight. So we are back this Friday, and we are previewing the upcoming game on the weekend against Arsenal. So I have two guests there organised for that. So I have Callum McFadden from Football CFB, who's recently after launching his own European football show. So do check that out, and that's a very good show. They launched their first show on Sunday, and do check that out. I'm joined by Callum, and I'm joined by Lee Judges from AFTV, Arsenal Fan TV. So he'll be covering kind of the Arsenal side of things, and we will talk about Arsenal, but we also will talk about, I suppose, Mikel Arteta and kind of how he feels about that regime, because they're very, I suppose, there's a lot of divide over in that fan base at the moment with Arsenal in terms of their current regime. So it'd be kind of good to get his kind of thoughts kind of on that regime. And just on Monday as well, lads, we are joined by Dutch football journalist James Rowe. So we will obviously be talking about the whole Donny van de Beek situation, because there's a lot of kind of unrest in Holland with relation to his role at Manchester United. And we will also be reviewing the Arsenal game as well, because he's a football journalist, but he is an Arsenal fan as well. So it'd be good to get him on the show as well. And on Tuesday, we are joined by Dale O'Donnell from Stretty News. He's making a return onto the channel tonight. So it's good to get Dale. It's good to see Dale back on the show as well. So that's good. And look, we did reach a new milestone today. We're on 109 subscribers now on the YouTube channel. Look, I know it's probably not major, obviously, compared to the other channels, but from where we started to where we are now, so it's a good milestone. And look, definitely during this lockdown period and other periods, we will, we will throw out more content to you on the fly nearly every day in the week, whether it's United show, normal podcast, MMA podcast, or the London show. There's going to be a show every day in the week now. So, we will roll out more content to you every day. Before I go, one final comment from Michael. He said, all in good fun, Keane. Great performance from you tonight, to be fair. Yeah, absolutely. 100%. I can't fault anyone tonight. I can't even criticise Luke Shaw, which I'm always doing. I'm doing nearly on every show. And last comment before I finish up the stream is, Rashford is mad to give dinners to children. Yeah, look, he's doing a fantastic job now. Can't go wrong. Can't really complain about that. But look, lads, I'm going to wrap it up there because it's getting quite late, and I do need to get to bed. Even though with the adrenaline of winning this game, lads, I probably won't sleep for the night. But look, thanks everyone for viewing the show. Look, I hope you all enjoy your evening. Though fantastic result for United tonight. And look, we are back on Friday, so do tune in on Friday for our show with Arsenal. And there's always good banter between us and the Arsenal fans in this channel. So do tune in for that. And look, as always, do like and share the video, and also subscribe to our channel and the weekly Armchair Kickoff podcast for more content and get them notifications on. And lads, cheers for everything, and look, we'll be back soon.